This is James with Market Forensics, formerly Gann Global Financial, and I'm going to be conducting a webinar this coming Thursday, January 8th. But I want to give a kind of a preface as to what we're going to cover because we're going to see be looking at some major historic precedents. Now, back in August of 2023, I had this to say about the precious metal stocks. This was a webinar that I did, and many of you may have tuned into it at that time. I said we're tracking the progress of the two greatest bull markets since 1879 in precious metal stocks during the 90 and 60 year, they're really the great cycles with advances of 737% and 612%. I probably don't have to tell you that we have seen these markets just rocket to the upside, and we're going to be taking a look at historic precedents when the markets experience these kind of advances. Now, back in 2021, this is a chart that I provided for our subscribers, and it overlays the 90-year cycle, 737%, and the 60-year cycle, which is our real key cycle. We've diverted from the 90, we're following the 60. That was the anticipation, so the market up 612%. And this is how things have played out. The low on February 14 was within a couple of months of the December 6, 1963 low. We've seen the market eclipse what occurred back in 1966, up 138%. And then there was a correction in here. So these are things that we're apprising subscribers of. But in terms of the long term, this is the advance which took place where we saw some corrective trade and then just the market just rocket up to the March 1968 high. And that equates to March of 2028. So we're in a long-term bull market. We're going to be talking about this. This is actually the 1960 low, which occurred coincident with the 60-year cycle low. And the market 1968, this is the high. Correction, another run to 1974, correction, and then the final top. And this would place us in a bull market until 2040 with corrections, looking to buy into corrections. Now, the other feature that we're going to be talking about in the webinar is markets that advance to new all-time highs. And silver had a triple top at approximately 2070. It's now experienced a breakout of 116%. It's more than doubled since breaking to new all-time highs. And I'm going to be talking about the history. We have the history of every market, most of them going back to the 1800s and similar situations like this. I'm going to be talking about what kind of percentage advances we can experience. Now, the silver, of course, has just been breathtaking. The advance off the landmark 1980 high at 50.36. That was the greatest bull market in history, the culmination. And then 2011, we tested that high. Well, we exceeded it. No sooner do we exceed it than we advance 68%. I don't see how these bull markets are about 2 years old. The expectation is that they should experience 4-year advances. The HUI Gold Stock Index, also all-time highs above the 2011 high. It's advanced only 17%. So we can experience a correction in here, but right now we have runaway advances. Now, I want to give a shout out to 321 Gold. It's a website that I've followed for years. In fact, Bob Moriarty is the owner of the site, and it has many contributors, and they're just valuable. Bob knows the individual gold shares and who the players are in the market, those that are credible, those that are not. And so there's a lot of information provided there. Has some great contributors on that site, some that I really like. So if you're looking for specifics with regard to what's taking place in the market, you're going to get information there that I don't give. But this is an article that introduced me to Bob. Out of the blue, he wrote this article, and I just want to read this to you. This was the February 1, 2016, when a major low was experienced. So he said, I've been writing about the resource market and specifically gold and silver for almost 15 years. Since what I write is a function of what I know and what I see, I have to keep up with what others in the industry are saying. I read probably 100 articles a day. Being a speed reader helps a lot. So I get to see who the real people are and who's running little more than a scam, telling people what they want to hear. I'd guess 80% of the writers fall in that category. We are still being fed daily doses of quote unquote manipulation, if it makes a difference. As far as I can tell, I've never heard of anyone making a single dime off of a belief in manipulation. So it looks like noise to me. When you start reading about naked shorts, you automatically know you are being fed hogwash. Commodities are a zero-sum game with one buyer for every seller, so it's simply not possible to dump uncovered shorts onto the market. But what are facts when you are trying to sell subscriptions? I came across a name. This is where Bob gave me a plug. He said, I came across a name 15 years ago that I guess 99% of my readers have never heard. In early 2001, he predicted a low in the silver market for late November of that year. That's the kind of thing that sounds meaningless. Everyone seems to believe they can predict the price of everything tomorrow and are happy to share their opinions with you. Of course, none of them can call prices accurately, else they would be filthy rich. At the same time, the biggest quote unquote silver guru in the industry was predicting the world would be totally run out of silver by the end of 2001. Well, the guru was 100% wrong, but soon forgiven since all he did was feed the fantasies of readers and they love you for that. I followed the same guy for 20 years and every prediction he ever made was wrong, but no one cares. He tells people what they want to hear and for what they love him for. He said, I wrote two pieces in early December 2001 about silver. I went on record as saying the price of silver had bottomed in late November at $4.01, exactly as had been predicted 6 months earlier by someone I didn't have an axe to grind, by someone who didn't have an axe to grind. James Flanagan runs Gann Global. That's now marketforensics.com. Made that prediction in the spring of 2001. He got it exactly correct. And to tell you the truth, I don't know if anyone else got it. Certainly when silver topped in April of 2011, at best maybe 5 or 6 guys called it correctly. James Flanagan at Market Forensics again was one and said that in 165 years of tracking the price of silver, every decline of that magnitude marked a major top. So Bob giving me some kudos, and it was at this 2016 low with the market just up 21% that Bob and I turned bullish and experienced the market experiencing 188% advance. So I'm excited about what's taking place in the markets. I'm not telling you to go out and buy. We're presumably in potential runaway markets to the upside, and those can continue. But corrections are going to take place, and this is the glamour market after being in just disrepute for 5 6 years, not following the inflation after COVID, just disappointing response to the Russia-Ukraine war. The market is now coming into its own. So this coming Thursday, January 8th, I'm going to be conducting a webinar which will email out to you. So all you need to do is enter your name and email address and click the register now button on this page. And we're hoping to see many of you out there. I'm going to fill in some blanks. We're going to be looking at the history of all-time highs and many other things. And so very much excited and looking forward to doing it, presenting it, and getting it to you on Thursday. With that, I'll let you go. Have a good day and profitable trading.